is respiration. Respiration is the process of release of energy from the food. This process is complex process which takes place in two steps, breathing and cellular respiration. Breathing is the process of inhalation and exhalation of the air. Inhalation is the process when we intake the air rich in oxygen, and exhalation is the process we release the air which is rich in carbon dioxide. Inhaled air, from that oxygen is absorbed by our body with the help of lungs. That oxygen goes to the cells and then cellular respiration takes place in the cells. Cellular respiration is the process of breaking down of glucose in the different type of cells. This process is catabolic process. Now, breaking down of glucose in various pathways. How breaking down of glucose take place? Glucose in cytoplasm of the cell or in any organism, the process of glycolysis takes place and glucose converts into pyruvate. Glucose is 6 carbon molecule and it converts into 3 carbon molecule pyruvic acid, or we can call it pyruvate. Pyruvate now in different pathways it convert or broken down in yeast without oxygen or in absence of oxygen. When pyruvate breaks, it converts into ethanol and carbon dioxide with release of less amount of energy, that is only 2 molecules of ATP. Now, in muscle cells where less oxygen is present, pyruvate breaks down into lactic acid and again less amount of energy, 2 molecules of ATP. Pyruvate in presence of oxygen in mitochondria of the cell broken down into carbon dioxide, water and lot of energy, that is 38 molecules of ATP. These are the different pathways in which glucose is broken down. Now, types of respiration. There are 2 types of respiration according to the presence of oxygen. Aerobic respiration is the process of respiration in which breaking down of glucose takes place in presence of oxygen. And anaerobic respiration is the process in which glucose is broken down with no oxygen. Now let us discuss about aerobic respiration. During aerobic respiration, glucose molecule during glycolysis or by the process of glycolysis in the cytoplasm of the cell convert into pyruvate. And this pyruvate react with oxygen due to the process of Krebs cycle in mitochondria, convert into carbon dioxide, water and 38 molecules of ATP. During anaerobic respiration, glucose again by the process of glycolysis in cytoplasm convert into pyruvate, but pyruvate breaks down without oxygen. The process is called fermentation. It occurs in yeast or other microorganisms and it converts into alcohol, carbon dioxide and less amount, that is 2 molecules of ATP. Human respiratory system. The external part, which is nostril, It is the opening and it open into nasal cavity. This is for inhalation of the air. Then nasal cavity. Nasal cavity is the cavity which is lined by the ciliated columnar epithelium, and uh, it is rich in mucus also. It makes air warmer, moistened and sterilized. Nasal cavity is separated from oral cavity by the help of bony structure which is called as palate. Pharynx, the next part of the respiratory system. It is common for food pipe and windpipe. Food pipe is esophagus and windpipe, that is trachea. Then larynx. This is larynx. Larynx is enlarged part of trachea. It is also called as voice box, and it contains vocal cords. These vocal cords help in production of sound. After this, trachea. Trachea is around 10 to 12 centimeter long tube which is supported by 16 to 20 C-shaped cartilaginous structures. And these ring-like structures help in prevention of collapse of windpipe. Trachea branched into two bronchi, right bronchus and left bronchus. Each bronchus enter into the lungs. Lungs are the spongy pouches covered by pleura. Each bronchus divided into branches which are called as bronchioles. These bronchioles and into alveoli. Alveoli are the air sac, and these alveoli are rich in capillaries, blood capillaries, which are very thin, even almost one cell thin, and over there gaseous exchange takes place. Then after, diaphragm. Diaphragm is a sheet of muscles lie below the lungs. It separates thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity.